When you are on page 513, give me a thumbs up. Today we are working in chapter 12, lesson 8, equal or unequal parts. So today our big question, our main idea is, how can you identify equal and unequal parts in two-dimensional shapes? So look down at our picture. Zoom in a little so it's easier for us to see. We are going to draw lines to show 2 triangles in one square and 3 triangles in the other square. So looking at that first square where it says show 2 triangles. If we drew a line down the middle, we drew a line like this, does that show 2 triangles? No, so we can't do that. Does this show 2 triangles? No. Okay, well, let's try something else. Does that show 2 triangles? Yes. So to break a square into 2 triangles, we have to draw a line from the top left corner down to the bottom right corner. For our second square, it says, show 3 triangles. Well, we know to be able to break it into 2 triangles, we have to draw a diagonal line. So how many triangles do you see right now? 2. To make it 3, we can break one of those triangles into 2. So now for that second square, how many triangles do you see? 3. Great job. We have 1, 2, 3. When you are ready to go on to our next page, show me your unicorn horn. Jose, do you have a question?
It's gonna take forever to get back.
Did you ever wonder about the trouble you might have caused on all those planets?
I can't hear you, friend. It sounds like a TV or something is on behind you.
Letting hungry squishes in from another world.
Can you say it again now?
It's telling me to leave the meeting.
Okay, it shouldn't be, friend. If you have to leave the meeting, just come back in, but otherwise you're fine, you're okay. So, once you have drawn your 2 triangles in one square and 3 triangles in the other square, show me your unicorn horn so we can move on to our next page. Okay, let's look at our next page. I'm going to zoom in so we're only looking in that purple box at the top right now. So it says model and draw. These show equal parts or equal shares. So say that word, say equal parts. Equal parts means both parts of the shape are the same size. So do you see this square where the 2 parts are the same size? Or in this square, they've broken it up into 4 equal parts. Do you see how each part is still the same size? Okay, well, look over here. These show unequal parts or unequal shares. So say that word, say unequal parts. That means that both parts of the shape are not the same size. So unequal parts are not the same size. You look at this first square. Are these two parts the same size? No. What about down here in this square? Are all four parts the same size? No. Okay, so let's look down and do some practice problems. It says circle the shape that shows equal parts. So for each number, I want you to give me a thumbs up for yes, a thumbs down for no. Looking at number 1, is this shape, does it show equal shares? No. But what about this shape for number 1? Does it show equal shares? Yes. So that is the one we need to circle. Remember, equal shares means that all parts of the shape are the same size. If they're the same size, that means they are equal. Good job. Let's look at number 2. Once again, we have two squares that they have broken into other shapes. Is this first square, does it show us equal parts? Yes, it does. So we're going to circle that square. What about this square for number 2? Does it show equal parts? Are all parts of the shape the same size? No, so we don't need to circle that one either. Uh-oh, it looks like on number 3, they're going to give us a challenge problem, but I think you guys can do it. So remember, we're still looking for equal parts, parts that are the same size. So looking at number 3, we have 2 circles. Does this first circle show equal parts? Yes, it does. What about this second circle? Does it show equal shares or equal parts? No, both parts are not the same size. Good job. Kiss your brain. Woo, it's doing a lot of hard work this morning. Good job. Look down at number 4. So on numbers 1, 2, and 3, we found equal parts. But on 4, 5, and 6, we're finding unequal parts. If they are unequal, that means they are not the same size. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Once again, we're just going to do thumbs up or thumbs down. So number 4, we have 2 circles. We're looking for unequal parts or unequal shares, which means they're not the same size. So for number 4, at this first circle, does it show unequal parts? No, thumbs down. All those parts of their circle are the same size. But what about this second circle for number 4? Does it show unequal parts? Yes. So if you look closely, guys, look at that number 4. These 2 outside pieces of the circle are not the same as those inside pieces of the circle. So that would make it unequal. They're not the same size. For a shape to have equal parts, every single piece has to be the exact same. If every single piece in the shape is not the same, that means it is unequal. Sorry, guys. Timed me out. Let's look at number 5. Once again, we're looking for unequal parts. We have 2 squares turned on their side, so now they kind of resemble a rhombus, right? So this first square, does it show unequal parts? Yes, so we need to circle it. We know it's unequal because both pieces are not the same size. But what about this second square? Does it show unequal parts? No way. We're going to leave him alone. He shows equal. Look at number 6. Number 6 again is one of our challenge problems, but you guys are so smart. We got this. Once again, we're looking for unequal parts, which means every piece is not the same size. Does this show unequal? Yes, it does. So we need to circle that shape. It's unequal because you can see 2 squares and then 2 rectangles. So they're not all the same. What about this second shape on number 6? Does it show unequal parts? No, that one shows us equal parts. All of those rectangles are the same exact shape. When you're ready to go to your next page, show me 2 hands on your shoulders. Okay, love bugs, y'all are doing an awesome job this morning. What we're going to do, I am going to set my 5-minute timer, and I am going to give you some time to do this page by yourself. But first, I want to tell you the instructions so you do the right part. For numbers 7 and 8, you are looking for unequal shares for numbers 7 and 8. For numbers 9 and 10, you're looking for equal shares. Okay, so remember, unequal means the shapes are not the same. Equal means all parts are the same size. And then numbers 11 and 12, it wants you to write how many equal shares. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and when you're done, we're going to come back together. Wiley, do you have a question?
My lungs are not feeling good.
Uh-oh, I'm so sorry. Let mom or dad know, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Your 5-minute timer has started now, guys. So when your 5 minutes is up, we're going to come back together and review your work. Remember, this 5 minutes is not a time to leave the computer, but to try some math on your own. You have about 2 minutes left. If I see everyone's finished early, we'll come back together. Okay, it looks like everyone's done. We're gonna go ahead and come back together, guys. So it looks like a lot of you are done. If you are not done, you may just follow along. I want you guys to check your work and make sure you are correcting your answers if they are not the same as what is on our screen. Okay. So let's look at number 7. It says color the shapes that show unequal parts. So looking at that first square, does this show unequal parts, parts that are not all the same size? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes, it's showing unequal, so we need to color it in. And you can just shade it in with your pencil, guys. You don't have to do anything special. Look at that second shape. Does it show unequal parts? Unequal shares? Yes, it does. These two, the top and bottom triangle, are not the same size as those two side triangles. Let's look at that third shape. Does it show unequal shares? No, those two rectangles are the same exact size. And let's look at our last shape, that circle on number 7. Does it show unequal shares? No, both of those parts of the circle are the same size. Let's look at number 8. We're still looking for unequal shares, parts that are not the same size. Does this circle show unequal shares? No, both of those parts of the circle are the same exact size. What about this square? Does it show unequal shares? No, all parts of that square are the same exact size. What about this rectangle on number 8? Does it show unequal shares? Good job. The top share or top part is much, much bigger than that bottom shape, bottom part. And let's look at that last circle on number 8. Does it show unequal shares, parts that are not the same size? Great job. So we need to go ahead and color that in. So for numbers 9 and 10, we're now looking for shapes that show equal shares, equal shares. So on number 9, does this shape show equal shares? Yes, all 4 of those rectangles are the same exact size. Uh-oh, my circle got messed up. This circle is supposed to have a line like that. So does that circle show equal shares? On your page, yes. What about this square on number 9? Does it show equal shares, parts that are the same size? No. And what about this rectangle on number 9? Does it show parts that are the same size or equal shares? Yes. Let's look at number 10. Does this square Or sorry, that is, yep, that's a little square. Does this square show equal shares, parts that are the same size? Yes. What about this second square? Does it show equal shares, all of the parts that are the same size? No, those two corner pieces are not the same size as the two inside pieces. What about this circle? Does it show equal shares? Yes, so we need to color it. And then last and not least, what about this rectangle? Does it show equal shares? No, it does not. Okay, so for numbers 11 and 12, it says write the number of equal shares. How many equal shares does number 11 have? 2. And how many equal shares does number 12 have? 4. Good job. Okay, so show me a great big squeeze when you are ready to go on. Okay. So we are going to skip on over and we are going to start on page 517. When you're on page 517, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to be talking about halves. Halves. So this is chapter 12, lesson 9. How can a shape be separated into 2 equal shares? 2 friends share the sandwich on the left. How can they cut the sandwich so each gets an equal share? Well, I know. You can cut a sandwich straight down the middle to make 2 equal halves, right? Or equal shares. But they also have another way to cut their sandwich to make sure everyone gets an equal share. So for the sandwich on the right, they cut it a different way. They cut it at a diagonal. Does everyone still get an equal share? Yes. So think about it like a piece of paper. If you folded a square in half, it would be the same size. And if you folded a square corner to corner like a taco, you could also still get the same size share. When you're ready to move on, give me a thumbs up. And we are going to continue talking about halves. Great job staying focused today, guys. Y'all are doing a wonderful job. Look in that purple box at the top where it says model and draw. The 2 equal shares make 1 whole. 2 equal shares are also the same thing as 2 halves. 2 halves. Is half of the circle larger or smaller than the whole circle? Someone know? So is half of the circle larger or smaller, Grace, than the whole circle? Wonderful. Half of the circle is smaller. So this side of the circle is smaller than this whole big circle, right? Yes. Sean, please make sure you get your camera turned back on so you can be marked present for class. Let's look down at numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are going to talk about all the different ways that we can show halves in a square. And guess what? We've already figured out 2 of the ways. On our sandwiches, we said we could draw a line straight down the middle from top to bottom. So that's one way. We could also draw from side to side, right? You could draw from corner to corner. Or draw your diagonal the other way. So there's lots of different ways you can show halves. When you're ready to move on, show me your goggles. Show me you're looking at the screen ready to go on to our next problem. Great job, superstars. I am just so proud of you guys for staying focused and ready to go today. Okay, guys. I'm going to give you some time to try this on your own. But first, I'm going to read the instructions. The numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're going to circle the shapes that show halves. For it to be halves, remember it has to also be equal shares. On number 14, it says the picture shows blank halves. The blank equal shares make blank whole. So you'll write numbers there, okay? I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes, and when we come, actually, I'll give you about 3 minutes because that shouldn't take as long, and then we'll come back together. There's our timer. Let's come back together. Okay, so thumbs up or thumbs down is number 5. Does it show halves? Yes, both parts are the same size, which means they're equal shares or halves. Number 6, does it show halves? No, so we're not going to circle it. What about number 7? Yes, both parts of that circle are the same size. Number 8. Both sides, both shapes are the same size. What about for number 9? Yes, both parts of that circle are the same size or equal, which means they are halves. Does number 10 show halves? Yes. Number 11, does number 11 show halves? Yes, and don't let them trick you guys. They're just showing you circles in different ways. So numbers 11, 9, and 7 are all circles. They're all in halves. They're just turned different ways. What about for number 12? Does number 12 show equal shares or halves? Yes, so we need to circle it. And then what about number 13? Number 13 does not show us halves. Great job. Let's look down at number 14, our challenge problem. It says the picture shows blank halves. How many halves does that picture show us? 2. The blank equals shares. So how many equal shares do we see? 2. The 2 equal shares make blank whole. How many whole shapes do you see? 1. So if it's 2 halves, they make a whole. So think about if you have 2 halves of a pizza, you put them together, that makes one whole pizza. With that being said, guys, that is the end of our math lesson. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a 5-minute break. We'll come back to our reading review and our reading test. So I will see you guys in 5. Let me share my screen.